Hi, I am your mystery advisor regarding budgeting, saving, investing, personal finance, debt management, cryptocurrency, digital currencies, and more. My YouTube channel is dedicated to help people learn about money and investing. The channel hosts videos featuring experts in the field to provide valuable insights, tips, and advice, also posts educational content that explores the latest financial trends and news. I hope you enjoy my videos and please feel free to like, subscribe, and comment to let me know what you think.
Today we are going to speak about digital currency, the future of your money. Digital currency has the potential to completely change how society thinks about money. Global central banks are looking into how possible national digital currencies can function in light of the emergence of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and dozens of other cryptocurrencies that only exist in electronic form. What is digital currency? Any currency that is only offered in electronic form is considered digital currency. The majority of nations' financial systems already predominantly use electronic forms of cash. For instance, fewer than 5% of the total money supply in Canada is represented by physical cash, with the remaining 95% stored in commercial bank deposits, which are represented as data on spreadsheets and other records that track transactions between individuals and corporations. The fact that digital currency never takes physical form sets it apart from the electronic cash that is now present in the majority of bank accounts. You can already use an ATM to convert an electronic record of your currency holdings into actual cash. However, digital money never manifests physically. It's always exchanged digitally and stays on a computer network. For example, you might make purchases by transmitting digital cash to merchants using your mobile device rather of actual dollar bills. Functionally, this might not be much different from the way you now manage your finances using payment programs like Apple Pay, PayPal, or Simple Cash. Governments and central banks all over the world are looking into the possibility of creating their own digital currencies, also known as central bank digital currencies, in response to the successful launch of decentralized cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum, which store value but are not managed by any central authorities. What is a central bank digital currency? CBDC, a digital currency that is issued and regulated by a nation's central bank, is known as a central bank digital currency, CBDC. Imagine it like Bitcoin, but with full support from the Canadian government and managed by the Bank of Canada. Only a small number of nations and territories will have CBDCs by 2022. And many more will either be investigating the possibility or already have plans to introduce them. The Central Bank of the Bahamas, Sand Dollar; the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, Cash; the Central Bank of Nigeria, Naira; and the Bank of Jamaica are a few locations where CBDC is already available. Jamdex. How would a CBDC work? Even though a CBDC for Canada may not be feasible anytime soon, Jim Cunha, Senior Vice President at the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston, explains how a CBDC or digital dollar would operate on the American side of the border. According to Cunha, a CBDC would operate similarly to actual money. If I handed you CBDC, it would be like handing you a $100 note in the form of actual money. That money would be in your account and be yours. I was unable to take it back. This is a significant distinction from current electronic payment methods like PayPal. I'm only promising you money will come if I transfer it to you via PayPal. Although the funds appear in your balance, they haven't yet been transferred across banks. Because of this, the transactions are not final, and the other party may choose to reverse them. An ACH transfer has a potential unwind period of 60 days. When sending money using CBDC, the opposite party cannot cancel the transfer because the money is sent almost quickly. The potential for a CBDC to be treated as legal currency is another significant benefit. That implies that for any legal reasons, all economic participants must accept it. You may use it to pay your taxes. Anyone you owe money to, such as the bank or specific people, is legally compelled to take it, according to Cunha. In contrast, other digital currencies are not accepted as legal money. People may need to change their cryptocurrencies into dollars before making the majority of transactions because just a small number of merchants accept it directly. Currently, when you use cryptocurrency as payment, you also generate a taxable event, which means that each time you make a transaction using Bitcoin or Ether, you might need to pay capital gains taxes. In addition, any applicable sales taxes. You would only be responsible for paying any necessary sales taxes using a CBDC, just like you would with actual money. How have digital currencies worked around the world? Despite the advantages of a Canadian CBDC, it is still only an idea at this time. Other nations around the world are little further along with digital currencies. For example, the Bahamas Sand Dollar began in October 2020, and one of the biggest CBDC schemes, China's digital yuan, launched a trial project in 2014. In 5 cities, a pilot program is being tested. To demonstrate that it is effective, they distributed millions of dollars through lotteries, claimed Cunha. Lottery winners are given free CBDC, which they can use at neighborhood stores that accept it. Even though it isn't yet available on a national level, China will use banks and mobile service providers like Alipay to expand it once the platform is ready. As part of an initiative to employ blockchain and CBDC for regional payments between countries, the central banks of China and the UE are also engaged. If these initiatives are successful, it may inspire other countries to establish their own CBDC. Lilia Tesler, head of Citi's fintech and blockchain business, is upbeat about the adoption of digital currencies in the future as a result of these trends. Mass acceptance of digital currencies will undoubtedly occur, but it is difficult to forecast how it will look. The paper version of the US dollar might be replaced by a CBDC. At the same time, society may focus on mainstream adoption of a decentralized cryptocurrency. Digital currency benefits, a sense quicker payments compared to existing payment methods like wire transfers or electronic fund transfers, which can take days for banking institutions to authenticate a transaction. Using digital currency allows you to accomplish payments considerably more quickly. A sense international transfers at a lower cost. People must pay hefty fees to transfer money from one country to another, especially when currency conversions are involved. International currency transfers are very expensive. According to Andrew Kigel, CEO of Tokens.com, digital assets are disrupting this marketing by making it faster and less expensive. A sense constant access. Because banks are closed on weekends and beyond regular business hours, existing money transfers frequently take longer during such times. Whenever you use digital currency, transactions proceed at the same rate. A sense assistance for underbanked and unbanked people. According to estimates, 10% to 20% of Canadians lack adequate banking services or have just limited access to them. To cash their paychecks and transmit funds to others via money orders or remittances, they ultimately pay exorbitant costs. Unbanked people might access their money and pay their expenses without incurring additional fees if Canada introduced a CBDC. A sense more effective payments from the government. Instead of attempting to mail people a check or use other ways, the government could transmit payments like tax refunds and child benefits to people instantaneously if it created a CBDC. Digital currency disadvantages. A sense there are now too many currencies to manage. The present surge in Bitcoin adoption has drawbacks. So many distinct blockchains are being used to create new digital currencies, each with their own set of restrictions. Determining whether digital currencies would be suitable for particular use cases, particularly if some are built to scale for broad adoption, will take some time, according to Tesler. A sense learning how to use them requires work. Users of digital currencies must put in some effort to understand how to carry out basic operations like opening a digital wallet and securely storing digital assets. The system must be made simpler for digital currencies to be more extensively used. A sense the cost of blockchain transactions varies. The blockchain, which is used by cryptocurrencies, requires computers to solve difficult equations in order to validate and record transactions. As more transactions take place, the amount of electricity required increases. However, since a CBDC would likely be governed by the central bank and require no sophisticated consensus procedures, they would most likely not exist. A sense significant price swings for digital currencies. Prices and values for cryptocurrencies can fluctuate quickly. Kunho thinks this is the reason why companies are hesitant to adopt it as a form of trade. Do I want to tolerate something that is volatile as a business? What if a Bitcoin I hold for a week loses 20% of its value? But with CBDC, the value is considerably more constant, like paper money, and cannot change in this way. A sense it will take time and money from taxes to develop a CBDC. A hypothetical Canadian CBDC still exists. If the government chooses to build one, there will be expenses related to its creation. How would digital currency affect you? If digital currency is adopted in Canada, it would serve as a substitute for cash and, because it is electronic, would have the added benefit of speedy money transfers. Kunho has some suggestions for what a comparable digital currency for American cash would resemble for users over the border. We assume that it will be free or nearly free, similar to currency. It's possible that other actors in the commercial sector will innovate on top of it and possibly add fees, but that needs more development. A digital currency must still be as easily available as actual money. Despite being electronic, Kunho remarked, anyone should be able to use it, not just those with the latest cell phones, and suggested additional methods of accessing the CBDC, such as chip-based cards, POS systems, and web accounts. He also thinks that an offline transaction system will need to be created so that two parties can exchange CBDC even if they are not connected to a Wi-Fi or cellular network. Kunho acknowledges that there is a lot of work to be done and that the industry must contribute significantly, but the effort may be worthwhile. While there hasn't been a decision to continue the project, he said, I firmly believe a CBDC should be thoroughly researched and contains significant potential. Just consider how far the internet has progressed since its infancy. The opportunities are unlimited with CBDC. I hope you enjoy my videos and please feel free to like, subscribe, and comment to let me know what you think.